Hey everyone, Shamrock here and welcome back to another random match here on WWE 2K19. Now this one was suggested by MZK Punk and it is going to be a fatal 4-way elimination involving 4 guys who have been very much involved with MMA in their career. First of all, we're going to get a chance to use Bobby Lashley. I think this is the first time I've seen Bobby Lashley on this game. Of course, he was downloadable content recently and now we get a chance to see how good he is in the ring. Next up then we have got the Beast Incarnate, Mr. Brock Lesnar. Of course, a very, very capable MMA fighter, I suppose. Of course, former UFC champion as well. Next up then we have got the flip-flopped one himself, Mr. Matt Riddle. Of course, he did MMA before becoming a wrestler a couple of years back. A couple of years, maybe longer than that actually, you know. And last but not least, the returning one himself, the legend, the one who sort of set the whole thing in motion, I suppose, for wrestlers moving across into that sort of era. And that is Ken Shamrock. Alright then, so here we go. Like I said, fatal 4-way elimination. So 3 men will have to either be pinned or submit in this match. Once again, this was suggested by MZK Punk, so thank you very much for that suggestion. Of course, any other suggestions, drop them down in the comment section down below. And of course, if yours gets pulled out, you get to shout out in the process. Right. Looking forward to this. It's been a very interesting match. And this is the reason why I enjoy the random match series, because it does allow us an opportunity to sort of see things from a different perspective. See things we don't normally see. Because at the moment, of course, we're doing 205 Live and the New Japan Universe mode. So at the moment, none of these guys are currently involved in that at this point in time. Matt Riddle, potentially, New Japan. I don't know. He was potentially. Yeah, potentially. Could bring him in alongside Jeff Cobb as the Chosen Bros. We've got quite a lot of tag teams there, as I suppose. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. There's definitely opportunities we can do. So Bobby Lashley going after Ken Shamrock now, who had Brock Lesnar down and out. That's interesting. I don't know what's happening with this whole Brock Lesnar thing. I mean, it's just a disgrace, isn't it? I mean, he's been champion now for so long, and it's pointless. Why is he champion? Why are we not seeing our champion? This is why SmackDown is better than Raw, because you actually get to see the SmackDown champion week in, week out wrestling. Raw, you don't even see the champion, let alone wrestling. And that's why people prefer SmackDown, I think, is the main reason. I think the quicker they get that belt away from Brock, the better. But the problem is, how long is it going to be before they give it back to him again? I know he's definitely going to lose it either... Well, he's definitely going to lose it at WrestleMania, I think. And I think this whole thing with Finn Balor at Royal Rumble is just a bit of a... It's a bit pointless. I believe from reading the reports and that from backstage-wise, the reason they took Braun out of that match was they didn't want Braun to lose to Lesnar again and they didn't think it would affect Finn Balor too much. Thing is, if Finn Balor goes out there and gets beaten by Brock Lesnar in another 2-minute squash match, there's going to be hell to pay. There really is. Ow. I just found a random piece of wood on my sofa and it just pricked me in the hand. That's not very good, is it? Anyway, I do hope the quality of this video is good. Let me know as well, because as I've been talking recently, my new PC has now arrived. My £2,000 behemoth of gaming PC has arrived. So let me know if the quality of this video is okay, because I spent the last 2 days setting everything up and getting the settings correct, and hopefully they are all correct. So let me know if the sound quality is iffy or the video quality is iffy. Please let me know in the comment section down below. If there's no difference, again, please let me know. If there's an improvement, again, just let me know either way, just so I know that what we're doing is moving forward and not going backwards. Right, so Lesnar being held in the air there by Bobby Lashley. Lashley just strutting around the ring before finally dropping Lesnar in a vertical suplex. Wow, the strength of Bobby Lashley. Riddle now taking Shamrock up onto his shoulders into a GTS, followed up by the big boot to the face. As Lashley stalking Lesnar. Lashley, went for the spear. Lesnar leapfrogged over him. That was quite impressive by Lesnar. Then headbutts Lashley, takes Lashley up on the shoulders, looking for the F5 and hits it. Pin by Lesnar. 1, 2. Only a 2 count. Now that's a match I really want to see. I don't know why they haven't done that. I mean, it just seems obvious to me that Lashley versus Lesnar should be a match that will happen. I mean, those two guys, similar in style, both former MMA. Just makes sense, but Lashley survived the GTS, but I think he's going to struggle to survive this. As there we go, the submission locked in. Why has Ken Shamrock broken the submission up, mate? It's an elimination match. You donut. And now Lesnar goes to the pin once again on Lashley, and it's still only a 2 count. And I still can't understand the thoughts in Shamrock's mind behind breaking up that pin. That just seemed completely illogical to me. And what's Shamrock going for here? He's actually going for an inverted figure 4. It's like an Indian deathlock. Shamrock, who is looking like he's the dominant one in this match, just rolls Matt Riddle over straight into the ankle lock, but Matt Riddle was so close to the ropes and just grabbed the rope, and Shamrock. So one thing about this game, we've said about it recently a few times, about the AI now does try and relocate people if they're too close to the ropes for a pin. However, they won't do that for a submission. You'd think they'd be clever enough to try and drag their opponents into the middle of the ring for a submission so they're clear away from the ropes. They don't seem to do that, which is frustrating. However, they will do it with a pin. Lesnar and Shamrock going after each other now. Clubbing blows by Lesnar to Shamrock. A nice headbutt as well. Another one. Shamrock dropping to a knee. Lesnar again with a forehand on Lesnar. Brings Shamrock back up to his feet. Another stiff right hand. And Lesnar's just striking Shamrock. He once again is back up to his feet. Taking Lesnar up into a shin breaker. And follows it up by a dragon screw, of course. Shamrock does like to go for that ankle lock as a finisher. So weakening the legs is definitely in his interest. Shamrock sends Riddle over the top as Lesnar with a gorilla press into a power slam on Lesnar. Wow. Showing incredible strength. And again, just deadlifts him up onto his shoulders. Spins around. My God. Lesnar's moveset is incredible. There's the pin. One. Not Lesnar, sorry. Lashley's moveset is incredible. But still, Lesnar kicks out. And these 4 guys, I think out of anyone on this game, are going to show incredible resilience. Because of that Ultimate Fighting style or the MMA style. They're used to taking some severe hits and continuing on. Lesnar with the German, keeps the grip, rolls the hip into a second. Keeps the grip, rolls the hip into the trifecta of German suplexes. Lesnar now pulling Lashley away from the ropes. Rolls him over, going to go for the pin. 1, 2, only a 2 count. Lesnar now bringing Lashley back up. There's another headbutt there by Lesnar. There's now the cross armbar locked in here by Ken Shamrock on Matt Riddle. And I think Riddle's been able to escape. No eliminations yet, which is interesting. As Shamrock once again taking Riddle over that ankle lock, but once again Riddle's right close to the ropes. And once again Riddle's able to break free. I would have to say, in my opinion, I think Riddle's probably the one who is maybe a little bit below the rest. Currently, anyway, I think Riddle's very much the future stars. Riddle now rolling Lesnar through. And Riddle might prove me completely wrong here as he locks Lesnar into the submission hold. Like an inverted Rings of Saturn. If Lesnar taps, which he doesn't know, he uses his knee to break free. Lesnar taking Riddle straight up at his shoulders. And Lesnar's going to get his own back there with a F5 on Riddle. There's the pin. 1, 2, and surely this time it is the 3. We are down to 3 then now. Lashley, Shamrock, and Lesnar. Riddle has been eliminated. I'm enjoying this match. I really am, actually. Nice. Gutbuster there by Lashley. Lesnar now with the Saito suplex. Lesnar brings Lashley back up. Lashley slides free into a DDT on the outside. So, of course, this is, as it's a fatal 4-way, no disqualifications, no countouts. So the pinfalls and submissions do have to take place inside the ring. That's the only real rule. And, well, that still hurt Lesnar either way, didn't it? The right hand to the back of Lashley, making him drop Lesnar face first, which was, I think, the plan anyway, like. Shamrock slamming Lesnar face first into that ring post. And again, right into that ring post. Shamrock bringing Lesnar back up now into the ring. Lesnar goes. This is the longest match in Lesnar's complete career. I mean, if you compare this match to real life, I think Lesnar has wrestled like well, this is probably equivalent to 10 matches for Lesnar at the moment. I still don't understand why they keep breaking up submissions. That's really frustrating, I must admit. You saw Lashley there break Shamrock's submission. Lashley rolls to the outside, trying to get a bit of a breather. But Lesnar does follow him out there, and Lesnar with a stiff right hand, taking Lashley up onto his shoulders. Lesnar marches around before dropping Lashley face first onto the ring steps. Lesnar now wrenching the neck of Lashley once again. Lesnar brings Lashley back up to his feet, stiff right hand. Lashley rocked. Lashley catches the leg though into a clothesline on Brock Lesnar, and both guys slide back into the ring. Lashley, nice sit out powerbomb on Ken Shamrock that goes into the pin. But Lashley broke the... Why is Lesnar breaking that pin? These guys don't seem to understand the concept of an elimination match. Nice spinning rock bottom there by Bobby Lashley. He now takes Lesnar up. It's going to make him think about it, and Shamrock's just going to stand there and watch this, because as far as Ken Shamrock's concerned, Lashley has just exerted a hell of a lot of energy to do that, and then drops him, almost like a skull crusher finale, into the pin. I think what happened there though was that front drop there by Shamrock actually smashed Lashley's head right into Lesnar, which did a good damage to both of them really. Big knee in the gut there by Shamrock on Lesnar. And now Shamrock catches Lesnar, rolls him over. Once again, he's just too close to the ropes. Shamrock's locked in the ankle lock 3 times in this match now, and every single time he was too close to the ropes. Lesnar catching Shamrock with a stiff right hand in the gut, another right hand as well. Shamrock drops. Lesnar, Shamrock up into a German, keeps the grip, rolls the hip, looking for a second German, keeps the grip, rolls the hip, rolls him across, looking for the trifecta, but Lashley stops him in his tracks. Don't know why, again, you'd sort of let him exert his energy and do more damage to your opponent. There's no point in you getting involved there, I suppose, is there really? But in the heat of the moment, things do take over, I suppose. And these guys are not necessarily known as being the best in-ring mentally, but they're the best in-ring physically, I feel. As Shamrock taking Lesnar now up onto the top turnbuckle. Lesnar fights back with a boot. Another knee in the gut for a boot across the chest, and more strikes, and Lesnar being brutal here. Lesnar's dropped down to a knee. And Lesnar is struggling. I think it's taken a lot out of all of them this match, really. Lashley's back in the ring now as well. And Lesnar trying to fight on 2 fronts, but he's surviving at the moment. Both, oh, there we go, yeah, both Lashley and Shamrock were going after Lesnar. And that big suplex to the back, but there's a huge spine buster by Lashley. One of his special maneuvers, but it wasn't enough as Shamrock fights back with a boot, and now Lashley does once again roll to the outside, knows he can't be pinned out there. Using the ropes to get himself back up to his feet, and then fighting back with a right hand on Shamrock. Lashley takes Shamrock into the corner with some force. Then Lashley now sending Shamrock shoulder first into the ring post. Shamrock pushing Lashley away, should I say. Getting the 2 meatheads confused. Belly to belly slam by Shamrock. Will it be enough to eliminate Lashley? It is enough to eliminate Lashley. We're down to our final 2. Lesnar and Shamrock. Lesnar straight away rolling Shamrock down into an armbar. Shamrock is able to break free, rolling Lesnar through. And Shamrock catches Lesnar once again. He's right up against the bloody ropes. Come on, game. Use some sort of intelligence. See, I can't see Shamrock winning it now anyway, but I can't see Shamrock getting anything because he's just always going to be too close to the ropes when he hits his finisher. It's a bit pointless really, but there is the F5, and there is not the 3 count. We continue on, ladies and gentlemen. Nice double axe handle to the back of Ken Shamrock, and then a boot to the back of the head as well Lesnar really wrenching at the neck of Shamrock before slamming him back down, head first into the mat. So it takes something big and special to finish one of these guys off, I think. Yeah, I say that, you watch now, someone will win it with a chop. I think Shamrock, yeah, Shamrock, I just don't see him winning this because he's obviously going to want to try and hit that ankle lock, but every time he does try and hit that ankle lock, he's just too close to the ropes. I mean, if he can get an ankle lock middle of the ring, he might just have a chance. Here he goes on it again, is it? No, this is just a... It's like a leg breaker. There's the pin by Shamrock. 1, 2... Oh my god, that's exactly what I just said. It's exactly what I just said was going to happen, wasn't it? It's going to take something special to finish this match, but then again, knowing this game, it would probably be something really dumb and stupid. And it was! But either way, Ken Shamrock gets the victory over Brock Lesnar, surviving a couple of F5s actually in this match. I think Shamrock deserves it. I mean, his intelligence in the match was borderline idiotic. I mean, he was breaking other people's submission holds. He hit his own submission hold 4 times up against the ropes. It was just a really stupid match, wasn't it, really? But there we go. Ken Shamrock is victorious and wins this Fatal 4-Way Elimination match. So once again, that match was suggested by MZK Punk, so thank you very much for that one. Any other suggestions for random matches, please do drop them down in the comment section down below, and I will give you a shout out in the process when your match is pulled out of the hat. The more you suggest, the more chance you've got, I suppose, if you look at it that way. Anyway, I've been Shabby Gamer. Thank you very much for watching. Please do hit the like and of course subscribe if you want to see some more. And please do let me know in the comment section down below about the quality of this video. Because it's been recorded. It's the first ever video recorded on my brand new £2,000 PC. Which hopefully is going to mean that we can do some bigger and better things moving forward in the future. I've been Shabby Gamer. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.